Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for another video. We got a fun one prepared today. What we'll be doing is we'll be looking at our Wake Forest versus Miami Hurricanes matchup. We're going to completely break down this game, break down the rosters, break down the teams, and try to predict the outcome, who's going to win, who's going to lose, and what the final score will be. Make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. If you have any comments, please drop them below, and I will respond. Every week, we go over every single college football game, the top 25 ones, the non-top 25 ones. We also do the same thing for every NFL game as well. If you're a football fan, if you're a sports fan, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel so you can follow along with us. So, like I said, we have the Wake Forest Demon Deacons playing the Miami Hurricanes. The Hurricanes are coming off the bye. The big question surrounding this game is, how does Miami respond after the bye week? And after that loss to the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, back-to-back seasons, they dropped another one. They were not dominant in any way whatsoever. They actually got drug up and down the field, especially on that defensive line. Georgia Tech was running at will. Miami could not punch the ball in the red zone. How does Mario Cristobal get his team to respond? They want to get things back on track. They want to show that was just a one-game performance, and they have it solved. They want to win out. They want to make sure they make the ACC championship, win that, get the bye week, make the playoffs. But they have to make sure to win these last two games to ensure they make the ACC championship. For Wake Forest, they have to win the last two games just to make a bowl game. Both teams have something to play for. Both teams have something to prove. Miami comes in here with a 95.7% chance to win this game. Massive favorites here. The over-under here is 23.5. This is going to be a fun game. There's going to be some points scored here, especially with Miami, who's coming in here with a top 3 offense. And right now, the over-under in this matchup is 64.5. When you're looking at these two teams, obviously for Wake Forest, they've been shuffling in quarterbacks. If Bachmeier's healthy, he's going to be the starting quarterback. He's been a transient guy. Guy's about 38 years old. He's been playing college for practically 20 years. He's been transferring from team to team. He's still there. I think he started out with Boise in like 2018. He's still playing college football. Right now, he's closing in on 2,400 yards, 14 touchdowns, 9 picks. And Miami has Heisman candidate Cameron Ward. Not the best performance their last game. Yes, he had like 349 yards, but it was punching it in, and it was that fumble on the last possession. They had the game. They had the momentum. He fumbled it away. Stop looking downfield all the time. Not taking the wide open wide receivers, holding the ball way too long, ignoring the checkdowns, which are always open. Martinez was open in the flat. He looked at him, ignored him, kept his eyes down the field. He got sacked, fumbled the ball, cost him the game. You have to play smarter than that, Ward. You're like a 6 or 7 year senior, and you're going to be a first-round quarterback. It's those little things that make the difference. Yes, you take the good with the bad. Sometimes he makes the big play there, but that was completely inexcusable. There was no reason for it. Right now, Ward's closing in on 2,500 yards, 32 touchdowns, 6 picks. He's already broken every single Miami passing record. Wake Forest comes in, they're averaging 27.7. They're throwing for 274.8. That's an interesting number there because Miami's secondary is their weakness, especially tackling and proper angles. Wake Forest comes in, they're throwing for 275 yards. So Wake Forest is going to try to test Miami vertically through the air, try to hit those targets deep. And look, let's be honest, even though it's Wake Forest, there's going to be guys wide open because Miami gives up passing yards to everyone they play. It's a really bad secondary. They have a lot of things to work on. Can Miami's defensive line finally get some pressure? You can only throw those vertical deep routes when you have time in the pocket to push the ball down the field. If you don't have time, you can't hit them. You got to take the quick hits. So we need to see Miami's defensive line not just get pressure. They always get pressure. They don't get home a lot. We need sacks. We need more than quarterback hurries. We need sacks, tackles for a loss. And they're running for 136.2. Their defense, though, gives up 32.5. That is atrocious. Miami's going to make them pay on that. Miami obviously has one of the best, if not the best, offense in all of college football. They give up 292.6 passing yards per game. Cameron Ward's going to love that. They give up 156 rushing yards per game. Martinez, Fletcher, they're going to love that. Right now, Miami comes in, they're averaging 45 points a game. Throwing for 381.6. It's a top 5 passing team. They're running for 176.6. A great rushing team. They're averaging over 500 yards of offense, almost 600 yards of offense every game, even with that Georgia Tech disaster. They do give up 23.1 points a game. So they have about the 65th to 70th ranked statistical defense points-wise. Unacceptable. Yes, I know you have a lot of holes in the secondary, But look, we need to see something better out of the defense. Guidry has to put something together. That's on him. There's teams far less talented than Miami's defense because Miami has a top 10 defensive line. They should not be giving up 23.1 points a game. They should not be ranked 60 to 70 in defensive stats for points given up per game. They have about a 30 to 35 total yardage defense, but it's the points that matter. That's what's going to win you the game. That's what's going to lose you the game. They got to step up. They got to get the quarterback sacks. They have to give up less passing yards. You got to step up. They're giving up 222.2 passing yards per game, 112.8 rushing yards per game. Wake Forest, if they have Bachmeier, the guy's a veteran. He's going to be able to sling it. He's going to get his yardage, but Miami might be able to pick him off a couple times. Their big thing is they also have Claiborne at the running back position. He's closing in on 1,000 yards. You don't want to underestimate him there. He could be the difference maker here. He could be the X factor, especially when Miami got gashed in the rushing game this past week. They gave up 280 rushing yards. How does that defensive line and that linebacker core? That's on you guys. You got to step up. You got to run down those running backs sideline to sideline. Miami's defensive line weakness is sideline to sideline, not up and down. They can beat you. They're strong at the line of scrimmage. It's that sideline to sideline where you test the linebacker speed, and they also have more at the receiver position. Miami, they're just loaded. One of the best total offensive rosters. Ward, Fletcher, Martinez, Allen, Lyle, Restrepo, Horton, George, Arroyo, Williams, weapons everywhere. Quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end. Cameron Ward, sometimes he has the wide open first down to run. He refuses to do it. He'll just stand there and throw the ball in the dirt. Makes absolutely no sense at all, man. Scramble. Don't turn into a running quarterback. That's not you. You can scramble. You're not a running quarterback. But if they're giving you the first down, take the for sure thing. So how does Miami respond here? Obviously, Vegas thinks Miami's going to beat the brakes off of Wake Forest, which makes perfect sense. It's not an insult to Wake Forest, but Miami is the far more talented team. They have more to prove here after that loss. We need to see Miami beat Wake Forest down, but it is possible that Wake Forest gets some garbage time points. It is possible that Miami's defense comes out and just shows out. They just completely dominate a practical shutout, a 50-7 game. Would not be surprising at all, but Wake Forest could potentially get some garbage points. Either way, I have Miami winning this one. 45-20. I still have them covering that massive spread, and we're going to go with the over. But we have Miami winning in the way they need to win. They need to at least cover that spread no matter what. But I want to see Miami give up even less points to Wake Forest. Wake Forest doesn't have a bad offense, but I want to see a better performance out of that Miami defense, especially coming off of that disaster in their last game versus Georgia Tech. So that's our breakdown. That's our prediction for the Miami Hurricanes. I have them still in it. I still have them making the ACC game. It's going to be a fun one, though. Once we get to the ACC game, they might be playing SMU potentially. That'll be a fun matchup to break down. But as long as Miami has this offense, they can compete in any game. Ward, great quarterback. To me, he should still be top 3 for the Heisman, potentially still number 1, because he is by far the MVP on this team. The guy's the best quarterback Miami has ever had to me. But anyways, that's our breakdown for this game. Make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. If you have any comments, please drop them below, and I will respond. Thank you.